If you're considering a move to Charleston and want to be close to the beach, then keep watching. I'm Nat Wallen. I grew up here and I've been helping people buy and sell homes since 1995. This video will have a few parts. I'll start with the location and then I'll share some stats and then a few fun things to do nearby. Highway 17 North is the main spine that leads through Charleston. It comes north through West Ashley and then across downtown, over the bridge, and on into Mount Pleasant. Now you'll want to stay in the left-hand lane coming off of the bridge from downtown, and within a few miles you'll pass the town center on the right, which is the outdoor mall. Let me show you this real quick. As you can see, town center has plenty of shopping, some restaurants, and has Mount Pleasant's movie theater. Continuing down Highway 17, you'll pass the Isle of Palms connector. And Brickyard Plantation, it's about at the midway point in Mount Pleasant, and it's a mile or so past, like I said, the Isle of Palms connector. And much like many of the neighborhoods like this in Mount P, it has a grand boulevard and a really beautiful entrance. I'll be back to talk about the amenities toward the end because they're some of the best in Mount Pleasant, but I want you to understand the whole neighborhood first. Brickyard features older homes generally in the mid to late 1990s, and as you go deeper into the subdivision, the homes get more expensive. Now there are 891 home sites in Brickyard, there are plenty of trees, and the lot sizes are generous. And at any given time, there are a handful of homes for sale, and because Brickyard has waterfront homes on Horlbeck Creek, they can sell for quite a bit. If we look at this map, you can see there are several different sections, and as of the date of this video, the least expensive property that sold in the past 6 months was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,492 square foot home that sold for more than full price. So they were asking $642 and they sold for $650. Now knowing this, it was very likely a multiple offer situation, which is no surprise for a $650 home in Middle Mount Pleasant. And real quick, let's talk multiple offers. Some buyers think that if they get there first, then they have the first shot at being the buyer. And sometimes that happens, but not always. This is a home I just sold in Old Mount Pleasant. We got there first, and fortunately we were quick enough to get it before multiple offers came in. But there was some strategy behind the scenes, and it did help knowing the listing agent. Now, the most expensive home in Brickyard that sold in the last 6 months was not too expensive. It was a 3,779 square foot home. It was built in 1996. It has a pool, but it's not on the water, and it sold for $1,350,000. Now, waterfront homes sell for more, and if I look back over the past few years, there was one on the creek that sold for $2.3 million. Let me show you a home I have sold twice. Behind me is a home that I sold 2 times. The first time was in 1997, so I had been in real estate for just a few years, got out of college. My dad bought this place. He was one of my clients. And secondly, was just a few, maybe 7, 8, 9 months ago, early 2024, my dad bought it in 1997 for $283. It's a 2,900 square foot home, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. And my clients that just purchased it maybe 9, 10 months ago, they paid $940, and they really liked it because it was close to the boat landing, and that was key for them. And that's a big selling point of this neighborhood, that and the boat storage. So Dan, thank you so much for allowing me to film this. You guys were great to work with, and thanks again. These homes across the street have waterfront views, and as you can see, they are fairly large and are the most significant homes in the neighborhood. And as we move closer to the boat landing, you can see that there are waterfront options and even a little bridge that takes us back deeper into the neighborhood. This is a pretty unique setting, and if you're looking in the 800 to 2 or 2.5 range, there might be something interesting that pops up for you in Brickyard. And if so, expect that the floor plans may not be what a new home is, as we may see more hallways and just different room configurations. Now, of course, in many cases, rooms can be opened up, and while renovating may not be convenient or financially comfortable, the trade-off is that you have this great mature neighborhood with good amenities and easy access to the beach. So it might be a tough decision if you like this neighborhood overall. Now let's take a look at the boat landing. As you can see, it's well kept, has plenty of space, and is one of just a few neighborhoods with their own private landing in Mount Pleasant. So this is a plus. And again, this was a big reason that prompted the sale I showed you where my dad once lived. Okay, just a few more things I want to show you, so let's get back into the car. I just want to take a closer view of Horlbeck Creek, and let's see what else we can see. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about the pool and the other amenities. We are getting there. Here we go. So I'm heading toward the back of the neighborhood now. As you can see, this boulevard is really nicely kept. On the right-hand side is a nice wide walking trail. It's probably 5-6 feet wide, and it leads throughout the entire neighborhood. And if you're a jogger or a runner, or just want to get out and stretch your legs, this is a nice environment to do so. It's definitely not clear-cut. This is a section of the neighborhood that's called The Landing. Brick homes on crawl spaces. There's a nice lagoon to the left and the right as you enter. And these homes are a little bit tighter than where my dad lived. But still, there's nice breathing room. I would say these homes are on 1/4 of an acre. Should be off to the left. There it is. So this is Horlbeck Creek. It's tidal. As you can see, there are a lot of docks. Very common in the low country. Tidal creek versus deep water, there's a big difference in what you pay real estate wise, but just access to the water, you can easily count on adding $500,000 onto the sale price, if not more. And off in the distance is the Wando River. Hello, Blackbird. So yes, if you look in the description of this video, you will see that there is a driving tour of Charleston. If you're not familiar with the Charleston area, I highly recommend giving it a download. It will allow you to tour all of Charleston on your own. There's audio commentary, and it's actually a pretty helpful tool for especially relocating folks. And yeah, just look in the description and fill out the short questionnaire, and then you'll get a driving tour of Charleston. So when you come, you'll be able to see all of it, and not just neighborhoods, but fun things to do. And yeah, the driving tour. It's the only one of its kind in Charleston that I'm aware of. Right after the last shot, I struck up a great conversation with a neighbor outside. He had moved here and began researching the history of Brickyard, and he told me about the Horlbeck brothers that used to be associated with Boone Hall. They came over and realized that the land was really only good for making bricks, and together they made a very successful brickyard business, hence the name we see today. And it was interesting hearing a northerner's perspective, and he had questions about our history and just needed to feel good about his buying decision. So he made the point that you can throw a stick and touch some history in Charleston, which is true. And he even shared a large PDF that goes deep into the research they conducted while developing Brickyard. So if you are a historian or just curious, or you live in the neighborhood, reach out to me and I will email it over for you. And if you're watching this, Paul, thank you for stopping and saying hello. Nice meeting you, and thank you for the helpful input. Now let me show you the pool. Okay. Back at the front of the neighborhood where the boulevard comes in from Highway 17, you can see the pool has a big lagoon on 2 sides. I was actually out there this past summer making another video, and they were resurfacing it. So the pool is literally brand new as of 2024. Moving along, you see we have 5 tennis courts, and there's also a basketball court. The fees here are between $1,200 and $1,600 annually, which is getting a little bit on the higher side of what we normally see for Mount Pleasant neighborhoods. But if you think about it, for a little over $100 a month, you're getting a boat landing, all these nice things I'm showing you now, the trails. The price seems fair to me. Now let me show you another plus. Here we go. You know, I almost forgot to show you one of the best parts of this neighborhood. It's actually the gated boat storage. It's hard to find boat storage in Mount Pleasant. A lot of these neighborhoods like Rivertown and Wild Dunes, Dunes West, places like that, they have good storage, but there's a big waiting list. And as you can see, this looks pretty secure. And yeah, there's good boat storage here. And this is actually part of a trail system that runs through the neighborhood. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually get into Brickyard from Highway 41. So we came in from Highway 17, but if we look at the map again, you'll see that you can actually get there from Highway 41. There's a place called the Colonnade, and this trail right here, this trail actually connects the Colonnade to the Amenity Center, which is in the distance there. So yes, good boat storage here in Mount Pleasant, and now let's go take a look at the boat ramp. I'm here at the neighborhood boat landing. This is actually on Horlbeck Creek, which empties out into the Wando River. The Wando River then connects with the Cooper River and into the harbor. So a big part of living in the South and living really on the coast, obviously, is getting out in a boat. I highly recommend doing that. This is a good neighborhood boat landing. It's well kept, and as you can see, it's got some good size to it. So again, the creek is behind me, and a big plus, you got to have a key to get in, and this is a good asset for the area. Okay, that wraps up Brickyard Plantation. I hope this content is valuable and is worthy of your subscription. Thanks again for being here, and don't forget to check the links below. Thanks again. Bye.